Introducing first the team of John Yurnet and Sonjay Dutt.
John Yurnet, Sonjay Dutt making their way to the ring.
Hey, that's Mr. 450. Like Mr. 450 went into the future, came back with that jacket, that chain, the KT tape on his arm, the pink arm brace.
All right, we get the idea.
His boots.
Yeah.
And his haircut.
And their opponents, Ross and Marshall Von Erich.
What a thrill, the Von Erichs making their way to the ring. Ross and Marshall from the Lone Star State of Texas. And these two come from perhaps one of my personal favorite wrestling families in all of the history of professional wrestling, the Von Erichs. I grew up watching world-class championship wrestling. I loved it, watched it every week. And the Von Erichs were a staple of that organization. Now, fast forward, here comes the next generation. Here comes Ross, here comes Marshall, looking to make a name for themselves in Impact Wrestling.
Yeah, no doubt about it. The Von Erichs are wrestling royalty for sure. Can't imagine the amount of pressure on Marshall, who's the barefooted member of the Von Erichs. He's going to step on the apron. This is Ross inside the ring, correct?
Correct. And as Ross and Marshall prepare for battle, Kevin Von Erich, the father, watching backstage. Always a very, well, he's got a hands-on approach to his son's career.
I would love to know why Marshall competes barefooted. I'm sure there's a great reason. Perhaps he feels
his father obviously was a barefoot competitor, so keeping the tradition alive. And if you ask Kevin, gives him a different perspective, gives him a different approach. He says he likes that. He likes he runs around on his island in Hawaii barefoot. He said it's just part of his deal. He likes it.
Well, you know that I'm an avid golfer, right?
Yes.
I putt without shoes on. I putt in socks.
You do?
Yeah, I take my golf spikes out when I get on the green, and I feel like I'm closer to the ground. So I sort of understand why Marshall feels comfortable.
You're comparing that to what Marshall Von Erich does in the ring.
Well, golf can sometimes be a contact sport, JB.
Yeah, of course. With your playing, yes.
I can relate to and appreciate why Marshall competes barefoot.
Well, it's certainly unique. Not
Is
something
it
you see very.
barefooted or barefoot?
He competes
barefoot.
Yeah.
Have you ever had barefoot wine?
No.
It's cheap and it's not that bad. You get a bottle for like $8.
Marshall into the ropes. There's a barefoot foot to the face.
Barefooted.
Dropkick does not connect. And I'll tell you what, one thing that we've seen from these two, you got to have a good coach in your corner. Every great player, every all-star player has a coach.
Ooh. Ooh.
And have Kevin Von Erich for Ross and Marshall in their corner coaching them along the way. Wow!
That's athleticism right there.
Standing moonsault from Marshall Von Erich. And I'll tell you what, from the first time we saw them at Slammiversary, even up until now, really comfortable in the ring, doing a great job in there.
Kids are explosive.
We're going to see how they fare. Sonjay Dutt on the outside of the ring, regrouping more of this matchup when we return on Explosion. We are back to an Explosion exclusive action. The Von Erich boys, Ross and Marshall, take it on. Two very tough competitors right now. Sonjay Dutt in the ring, and that is Ross. Gets the tag in now, and certainly what we've seen so far. An incredible standing moonsault earlier from Marshall Von Erich, but I'll tell you what, Ross, both guys very agile in the ring, and that's something I think they get from their father, Kevin.
Yeah, and we'll see if Ross goes after the shoulder of Mr. 450. That black tape that Mr. 450 has is called KT tape, and it's used to help heal injuries. So clearly an injured shoulder for Mr. 450.
1, 2, and that, wow. Ross getting plenty of elevation there, having no problems lifting up with that. The other shoulder seems a little more functional. And
yeah, I don't know what Mr. 450 is thinking here. He sort of teased a tag to Sonjay Dutt and then backed away there for a second
there's
time.
Again, and this guy, I mean, you're talking about a veteran in Sonjay Dutt. You're talking about a guy who's a stable, part of the fabric of the X Division cover, too.
He's also your tag team partner, though. I don't think you treat your tag team partner that way.
There we go. Now there's a tag.
Okay.
All right. So maybe it was just maybe a miscommunication.
Maybe a little ha-ha-ha.
Maybe a little just gotcha. You know, like a hijinks.
Yeah, they go in the back. They laugh about it later.
Is that what? Look at this. Wow. What an abdominal stretch from some leg over the top. Look at Sonjay Dutt just wrapped around him like a spider.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Sonjay Dutt for sure. We've seen a lot in this match. We got KT tape, a barefooted guy. Sonjay Dutt has a mouth guard in. Ross looks like the only normal competitor.
I just noticed Sonjay Dutt has a mouth guard in.
What's that?
I just noticed that he's got a mouth guard in.
Yeah,
Sonjay Dutt just thought he had really bad teeth. Wow, how about that? Suplex. Not enough to get Ross up. Ross in turns it around and a sit-down suplex on Sonjay Dutt.
Yeah, reminiscent of Taka Michinoku. Here comes Marshall.
Yeah, that's full steam ahead.
Oh, man.
Wow, came in with a freight train on Sonjay Dutt, and again. I'll tell you what, the tag team division of Impact Wrestling covered. The very face of that tag team division could be changing as we speak.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You throw in two young, up-and-coming competitors like the Von Erichs. I don't think Sonjay Dutt and Mr. 450 are going to be a great team. They can't be on the same page.
Power slam, 2 and no. Ooh. Dutt makes the save at the last second. Opportunity now for the Von Erichs. Double team into the corner. Double drop kick. Wow, great elevation. And look out for Mr. 450.
Loosening up those hamstrings of Marshall, going after Ross.
Oh, there it is.
The claw.
The claw. Oh, right into the knees of Ross Von Erich. Marshall with the cover. 2 and 3. Got him.
Your winners, Ross and Marshall Von Erich.
What's his name? Might want to go get some more KT tape.
Mr. 450's gonna need it. Ross and Marshall victorious, almost like a claw slam.
Rawr.
Victorious this week on Explosion. Impressive victory for the next generation of the Von Erich wrestling family.
Big win.
Here on Explosion.